End of the module or sometime afterwards, because this demonstration will help you know sometime afterwards, because this demonstration will help you know how the Azure Active Directory works. So what you can do with Azure Active Directory is you can enable the employees, guests, and others to sign in and access the resources they need. Say you have joined your new organization. There will be some person associated with security aspects of the organization, security administrator, security analyst. This person will be responsible for creating your details, that is your signing capabilities and also how you can access the resources. That is all related to Azure Active Directory related concepts. So you are given a single identity system for the cloud and as well as on-premises applications. So you are mainly identifiable because of the identity system. Please remember, and that is done with Azure Active Directory. And also your identities as well as credentials should be protected. So to meet an organization's access governance requirements. So you will be given role. Say for example, you joined as assistant manager. Your role will be given with some ways to access the resources and also the devices. So based on that role only, you will be given the access. So that is what is the way of implementing protection. And Microsoft 365, Office 365, Azure, Dynamics 365, online subscription automatically use this Azure AD tenant. Tenant is nothing but an organization. So I will show you the demonstration and you will come to know what Azure Active Directory is with that demonstration within short time. Now, as I told, Azure identity types. There are 4 categories: user, device, service principal, and managed identity. When it comes to user, generally speaking, a user is a representation of individual's identity. See, I am a user. You are a user. Any employee who joins the organization is a user. Any customer who visits the bank is a user. So all these are to be identified, and that identities are given by Azure AD. And devices, as mentioned, the mobile devices, the laptops, the servers, our printer, everything is a device and it is having access from the users. So the device also is given with an identity. So that is the main point to be understood by all of us. And as well as service principle, it is nothing but identity for an application. As mentioned, you have apps in your organization. So for every app, there will be access restrictions, and that service principle is connected with identity of an application. And managed identity, it provides the identity for application to use when connecting to resources that support Azure AD authentication. So these are the various Azure AD identity types. As mentioned, I will be planning the user settings demonstration before I end the session. Now I will move to the next slide quickly and I will complete the slides and I will give you the demonstration. I have opened the Azure portal. I am ready with all the demonstration guidelines. But before that, I will give you some more insights about the concepts related to Azure AD. Yes, external identities and in Azure AD. The two different Azure external Azure AD external identities are B2B collaboration and B2C collaboration. Now, when it comes to B2B collaboration, it allows you to share your apps and resources with external users. So that is what is B2B collaboration. So you can share your apps and resources with external user using business to business collaboration. When it comes to Yeah. When it comes to B2C, B2C is nothing but it is an identity management solution for consumer and customer facing apps. Yeah, let me elaborate what is B2B and B2C is. When it comes to B2B, it allows a candidate to share apps and resources with external users. External users means you as an employee of your organization, sometimes you are supposed to work with some external company employees. There, what happens is you are supposed to share your apps and resources with the external users. That comes under business to business collaboration. And when it comes to B2C, business to consumer access management, it is an identity management solution for consumer and customer facing apps. And it is an identity solution for mainly consumer facing apps. So B2C allows external users to sign in with their preferred social enterprise or local account to get single sign on to your application. So that is what is shown in this diagram. So once again, I'm repeating, B2C allows external users to sign in with their preferred social enterprise or local account identities to get single sign on to their application. So mainly it is useful for commerce with other consumers, citizens or members who are out of the group and belong to another group and does not require access to internal resources. So that is the reason why it is named as collaboration. I hope you understand collaboration. Yes. Now, when it comes to the concept of hybrid identities. So what do you mean by hybrid identity model? So that is what is shown in this slide. So when it comes to hybrid identity model, users accessing both on-premises and cloud apps are hybrid users. So if you see, the user in this diagram is able to access the cloud related apps as well as on-premises Active Directory. So that is what is hybrid is, right? And it is given, this facility is made very easy by using the concept of Azure AD Connect. Yes. So what happens is organizations may use the hybrid identity model or the cloud-based identity model for their benefits because they want the services from both cloud as well as on-premises. The identities are created in the Windows Active Directory or another identity provider and they are synchronized to Azure AD. The cloud-only model identities are created and wholly managed in Azure AD. So that is the main concept of hybrid identities. Here, if you see with the hybrid model, users are accessing both on-premises as well as the cloud apps and managed in the on-premises Active Directories. So when you have made the update in your on-premises ADDS, all updates to user access groups and contacts are synchronized with your Azure AD. So this synchronization is done with Azure AD Connect. So please remember this is very important. Synchronization is done with Azure AD Connect. I hope I am clear with this hybrid model. Yes. Now we can see how simple is the lesson 1. Only these many concepts. We have completed the lesson 1 with the discussion of Azure AD and identity types, a demonstration which is pending. I will give you the details within the short time, and B2B, B2C collaborations and hybrid identities. Now, yeah, let us get into lesson 2. That is, explore the authentication capabilities of Azure Active Directory. Yeah. Now, when it comes to authentication capabilities of Azure Active Directory, in this lesson, as mentioned, there are targets for each and every lesson. In this lesson, we have the target is security authentication methods of Azure AD and describe the password protection and management capabilities of Azure AD. So these are the 2 targets that we have to achieve. When it comes to authentication methods of Azure AD, very important topic of the day. Multi-factor authentication. Yeah, I will speak somewhat more time related to this slide. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, and security defaults. Now, yes. So my dear participants, I want again your reply with yes or no. This time I will see how many of you have gone through this MFA, multi-factor authentication. Every day when we log into Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, once you enter your username and password, directly you will not enter into your Gmail or your Twitter account or your Facebook account. You will be asked to give further details. Say for example, they message me prompt on the screen that please give the promo code sent to your or text code sent to your mobile phone in this box. Then only you will enter into the services. So that is nothing but double checking of your username and password. Once your mobile is synced with your account, that promo code will come to your mobile as a message, and you will be entering the promo code in the box given so that you will be given access to the services of that particular service provider. So what happens here is a double check is made by using multi-factor authentication. So this increases the security for the organization. So multi-factor authentication requires more than one form of verification. That's what I wanted to tell. So here there are three important points: something you know, something you have, and something you are. What is something you know? That is nothing but password or PIN. Something you know is nothing but password or PIN. Something you have is nothing but such as trusted device that's not easily duplicated. That is your mobile phone. See, you don't lose your mobile phone. Let us assume so. So you have the mobile phone with you and you will get the text message, call to your mobile phone, or a verification code will be given to your mobile phone so that you will be checked with for the second time. That is what is multi-factor authentication. And something you are is something which is very important, like biometrics. Sometimes we may not be satisfied with something you know and something you have. We will go for more advanced features like fingerprint and face scan. So that is what is something you are. So multi-factor authentication is nothing but more than one form of verification which is not satisfied with your own password. You have to go for additional checks with mobile verification code, and it is also concerned with fingerprints and face scans, something you are. And something you have in the sense the phone, which is mainly useful for the verification code details and the promo code which is sent to you. So that is what is MFA is. And when it comes to security defaults, a set of basic identity security mechanisms recommended by Microsoft. So great art. So what happens in security defaults is you are having a great option for organizations that want to increase their security postures but don't know where to start, or for organizations using the free tier of Azure AD licensing. So here you have a set of basic identity security mechanisms recommended by Microsoft. Here when it comes to licensing, I will speak about licensing. Here we have free tier edition, Azure AD free, and Azure AD Premium 1, Azure AD Premium 2. There are various editions. So based on the edition, you have additional features. So security defaults are totally linked with the way the security, the way with the editions we are. So Premium 2 will have more features to explore in terms of security. That is what security default is. It will come as a default with the edition you are picking with. If we go with Azure Premium 2, that is the most advanced edition we can say in terms of providing you all the features, you will get more security defaults. That's it. That's the thing I want to tell you all regarding this slide. So here I have explained to you about multi-factor authentication and security defaults. Yes. Now when it comes to multi-factor authentication in Azure AD, so different authentication methods are there with MFA. So passwords. Here you can see passwords. See the bad passwords. What do you mean by bad password, good password, better password, and passwordless? So passwords, see, my dear participants, passwords have many problems. They are easy to remember. See what we do in a matter of hurry, we go with passwords that we can easily remember. I will go with my mother name, father name, my friend's name, my pet name. And we are in hurry and we have one more problem also. We are with bunch of passports to remember. I have my bank password, I have my mobile password, I have my Gmail password, I have my Twitter password, I have my Facebook password, I have my Instagram password, whatnot. So many passwords are there in our brain. So what we will do, we will give repeated passwords, easy passwords for our convenience. And there we fall into soup. What happens is, once a person who moves very closely with us with malicious intentions will easily trace out the password because he knows our relatives' names, he knows our pet names, he knows our habits. So never be loose in terms of setting the password. It may be tough when you go with different passwords, hard passwords, alphanumeric combinations, digit combinations, special character combinations. Sometimes you see the systems are making you to keep the hard passwords, good passwords. Why they are doing? Because they are doing it for your benefit only. So that you will not set a simple, easy password and fall in the snare. Right? So passwords, they are very easy for a hacker to compromise. And the strong passwords are not hacked easily, but affect user productivity when forgotten. That's what I'm telling. See, hard passwords from your side, if you forgot, your problem is you will not get the access. You have to again contact the administrator for additional help. So there are two ways problem. Easy password, you are caught with hack. So be sure that you don't go with, see here you are seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a simple password kept by a user in a matter of hurry, QWERTY, and password is the password. I love you, password 1. See, these are all easily guessable passwords. Good password, say for example, you have a combination of good password and SMS voice links. Better passwords, you go with Microsoft Authenticator, so software tokens OTP, hardware token OTP, and passwordless. You don't go for any password. You go for the concepts of Microsoft. I will explain all this in the coming slides. Microsoft Authenticator, FIDO2 security key. So these concepts will be covered in the coming what we say slides. Okay. So my intention is to tell you that when you are setting the password, you be careful. You go with a better combination of alphabets, special characters, numerical values. Yes. So password and additional verification, as I told, phone verification with voice or SMS. Microsoft Authenticator is one of the features we will see in the demo. And open authentication with software or hardware tokens. So when it comes to phone, as told, you can use phone configured for either calls or text messages as extra means of authentication. I already told you. And when it comes to Microsoft Authenticator, it's nothing but a phone app that allows you to securely verify your identity. So it's nothing but an app, right? That allows you to securely verify your identity. And Authenticator app is used to provide the additional information. Authenticator app is the what we say app used to provide the additional information required for two-step or multi-factor authentication. Right? So you use all these things, my dear participants. This particular session is not to give you knowledge of security, not to give you a certification, not to give you a participation certificate. Okay, they are all there. But as a user, as a customer, as an employee, as a citizen, you should be very much aware of all these features also. So you can use this session for that purpose also. Now, when it comes to passwordless, as we have mentioned, biometrics or Windows Hello, Microsoft Authenticator, and both Vid2. So these are all there, right? So I will explain you these concepts in the coming slides. So that's the reason why I'm not re-explaining here. So biometrics is there anyhow. You all know thumb and face, thumb recognition and all. So Microsoft Authenticator and Vid2, I will give you the details in the coming slides. So on a whole, this particular slide mainly focuses on how to be more good with your password and how to go for additional what we say capabilities in terms of password setting. So as mentioned, the coming slides are related to the topics mentioned. See here, Windows Hello is nothing but the next slide. Okay, so Windows Hello, when it comes to Windows Hello, it's a Microsoft account. Mainly, Windows Hello mainly users authenticate to Microsoft account, and it's an active directory account, and it's an active Azure Active Directory account. It mainly provides services or relying party services that support the fast ID online V2.0 authentication. So you go with more safer authentication. And why is Windows Hello safer than a password? Because it tied to a specific device such as mobile on which it was set up. Say for example, you have used your mobile to set up the Windows Hello, then your mobile will be tied up to the entire thing of authentication, right? The pin is useless. That is the main thing. If the hardware is not there with you, obviously the pin is useless. So you have to carry your mobile or laptop or whatever you feel so. That is what is Windows Hello for businesses. Yeah. Now when it comes to self-service password reset in Azure AD. Yeah. So here when it comes to self-service password reset in Azure AD, it is a feature of Azure AD. You can see SSPR. That is the abbreviation for self-service password reset. So it's a feature of Azure AD that allows users to change or reset their password without admin or help desk involvement. I will speak more about this slide because this is very much common to us and very essential topic of the module. Yeah, when it comes to self-service password reset, there is always a situation with us. We set the password, difficult password, and we forget it. So what happens? We rely on some administrator to give us the password. Till that time, we will be totally idle. And that administrator, what happens from their side? They will be having bunch of requests, and they will not give you the reply within short time. They are with pipeline of requests. So this is the whole scenario when we don't have the self-service password reset capability. So to overcome this situation, the option of SSPR is given. In SSPR, what happens is the administrator. What happens in SSPR is if a user account is locked or they forgot the password, they can follow a prompt to reset it and get back to work. Am I clear? Once again, I will be repeating. So if you are like not remembering your password and your user account is locked, or you forgot how to give the details in terms of password only, then you are given with a prompt to reset it and get back to work. So that is what is SSPR is, self-service password reset. Okay. So benefits are The benefits of self-service password reset are administrator can change settings to accommodate new security requirements. It saves the organization money by reducing the number of calls. See, you are getting a prompt and you are setting it. You are setting the password. So you are not unnecessarily calling a person who is issuing the password, or to help you are not getting, you are not calling a technical person. And request to help desk. See, you are every time calling the help desk staff. So that is an unnecessary burden. It increases productivity, allowing the user to return to work faster. That's what I told. See, every time you forgot the password, say for example, to resume back to the work, it takes 2 hours of time. Unnecessarily, your organization is losing 2 hours of time of your work. So that is what is the SSPR benefit. And self-service password reset works in the following scenarios. Password change. Yes. So when it comes to password change, that's what I told, no? During the SSPR discussion, when you are going for password change and password reset, account unlock, these are the scenarios where you are in a dilemma situation, or you are in a approach where you are giving the new details. Okay, that means password change means you are shifting from one password to the other password. There you need the help from the admin side. Now in this SSPR, you need not rely on the admin. You will get a prompt and you can go for the change on your own without any third party involvement. Third party in the sense the external person involvement. Reset. Password reset also, there are chances that you revealed your password to your friend, and your friend or somebody whom you don't know. You are worried about it. So you will go for resetting it. You don't want to, with the SSPR capability, you need not rely on the other person. You can change it on your own. Account unlock. That's what I told you. Account locking happens when you forget your password. You can go for account unlock with the features provided by the SSPR easily. So authentication method of authentication method of SSPR, mobile application, mobile app notification. Yes. So when it comes to mobile app notification, is to mainly give you the methods related to SSPR and mobile app code, email. These three features, they are mainly to help you with the authentication method of SSPR. Okay, so that is the whole scenario with SSPR in Azure AD. This demo also, I will give you the details when I am done with the slides of the module 2 before end of the day or tomorrow, based on the time availability. All the demos I will check with in the demonstration slot given to you after the slides are completed. We will see how we can go for a self-service password reset in the real-time situation with Azure Portal. Now, when it comes to password protection and management capabilities in Azure AD. Yes, here there are mainly 4 important concepts: global banned password list, custom banned password list, protection against password spray, hybrid security. When it comes to global banned password list, so before discussing global banned password list, so what is password protection? So password protection, here if you see on the top, we have the main concept called to be password protection. So password protection is a feature of Azure AD that reduces the risk of user setting weak password. So I told earlier also, when you go for setting a weak password, you will be prompted that you have to give some special characters. You have to give some what we say alphanumerical values. All these prompts will come to you, and then only you are done with your saving of the password, right? So that password protection capability is mainly meant for that purpose. Okay, so when it comes to Azure AD password protection, it detects and blocks knowing the weak passwords and their variants, and can also block other weak terms that are specific to your organization. So Azure AD will take care of everything, right? In giving the capabilities to protect your password. Globally banned password list. Now, when you see the Azure AD should maintain the globally banned password list. What is globally banned password list? It is nothing but known weak passwords that are shown to you. In the previous slide, I have shown you password is kept as a password. That is the most funny thing. So you have the list of banned passwords, in the sense easy silly passwords, and with weak passwords are automatically updated and enforced by Microsoft. So Microsoft will have a bunch of weekly set passwords, and it will see that the customers will not go for those set of passwords. It will maintain a database. Based on the details given by the database, it will enforce the customers to not set those set of weak passwords. I hope I am clear with the password. Now, what is custom banned password list? Now, when it comes to custom banned password list, admins at the admin level can also create custom banned password list to support specific business security needs. So when it comes to custom banned password list, mainly it provides passwords such as organization names or location. See, you sometimes go with the password with your organization name or location where you are living. Say, for example, I am living in the Visakhapatnam city. I will set my password as Visakhapatnam. Because I am living in Visakhapatnam, I am very much remembering my location name. I will keep my password as Visakhapatnam. So that is not suggestible. And brand names. I am very much good with Adidas shoes, say for example. I like denim, say for example. I like Lil. So the brands also, you put your passport names, product names. I like Sony TV. I keep my password as Sony, right? And locations, headquarters. Say for example, I am working in some software company in Bangalore. I like my city, Bangalore. I will keep. Okay, company specific internal terms. Some specific internal terms will be there. I will keep them as password. So they are all custom banned password lists. So they are all banned. Microsoft will keep a database of those, and it will enforce the customer not to keep those passwords. And protecting against password spray. So this is also very essential. Azure AD, what it does, it provides password protection to defend against password spray attacks. So when it comes to password spray attacks, submit a few of the known weakest passwords against each of the accounts in an enterprise. So password spray attacks, what they do is they will try to give some of the weak passwords, okay, against each of the accounts in an enterprise. So what the attacker will do, he or she will guess with some easy passwords, as I told, custom names, brand names. So try to crack the resources, but protection is given in those cases also. That is what is protection against password spray. And when it comes to hybrid security, so what the admin will do is integrate with Azure AD password protection with an organization with on-premise AD environment. So that is what is hybrid security is. So hybrid, I told in the previous slide itself. So there will be an integration between the Azure AD password protection and on-premises AD environment. So this is how password protection is implemented, and management capabilities are there in the Azure AD. So once again, I will repeat: globally banned password list. When it comes to globally banned password list, we have the set of easy passwords which are easily guessable. Those passwords are kept in the database of Microsoft, and they are banned. And custom banned password list, I already told, your product name, your location name, and whatever you are very much familiar with brand names, you will go with those passwords, and you are caught in the game. Because in spray attacks, what happens is the attacker will try to guess those custom passwords and attack your system. So protection will be given by Microsoft. And also hybrid security, in the sense there should be synchronization between the Azure AD password protection and the on-premise AD environment. I hope I am clear with the slide. Yeah, so we have completed lesson 2. So my dear participants, again I will just have a quick recap of what we have discussed. See, I'm giving you revision also. The reason for giving you the reason is, see, we human brain always have the capability of learning the concepts fastly and also forgetting them. So what I believe in is revise, revise, revise till you remember forever. So this is what I implement from my side. You go on revising, you will remember it forever. Even in the night also, I ask you during the sleep time, I wake you up and ask, you should be able to tell me. You means the person who is participating in my event should be able to tell the security concepts or whatever the Azure concepts I have told. So that is the way I want to train my participants. So that's the reason why I'm revising again after completing each lesson, each module for your better future and better career in the security domain. So I started with my authentication methods of Azure AD. There I explained you about MFA and security defaults. There I explained you what is MFA is multi-factor authentication, that is double checking, and give you the details of something you know, something you have, something you are. Something you know is password, something you have is your device, something you are is nothing but your biometrics and face recognition. So security defaults, I told, based on the edition you choose, that is Azure AD Free, Azure AD Premium 1, Azure AD Premium 2, we will be giving with security defaults. Based on the edition you choose, the better security defaults you will get. So the better the version, the better the security defaults you are given. And then I explained about multi-factor authentication. There, I have given you all the details relevant to bad passwords and regarding the password and additional verification. There, if I go for biometrics, I will give you one more detail. Here, I like Windows Hello I have given. Regarding biometrics, you have come across hand, iris, face, or fingerprint recognition. Regarding biometrics, I am speaking in terms of revision. Say, for example, hand recognition, thumb recognition, iris recognition, face or fingerprint. So Windows Hello uses facial or fingerprint biometric data to authenticate a user. So that's what is biometrics. And Microsoft Authenticator will be having the authenticator to authenticate the details in terms of the security feature provided by Microsoft. And when it comes to FIDO2, so here itself I will give you the details. FIDO2 is an abbreviation for Fast Identity Online Alliance that promotes open authentication standards and aims to reduce the reliance on passwords as a form of authentication. So that is what is FIDO2 is. So it's an abbreviation for Fast Identity Online. Fast Identity, see, Fast Identity Online. Okay, so here it's an alliance that promotes open authentication standards and aims to reduce reliance on passwords such as form of authentication. So it mainly focuses on additional features in terms of password setting. Okay, then we have discussed about Windows Hello. So it's an authentication feature. Mainly it is built on Windows 10. So that is what is the main point. And it replaces password with strong two-factor authentication on PCs and mobile devices. That's what I discussed in the session I was giving you. So without the hardware, the pin is useless. So that is the mantra of this particular concept. So when it comes to SSPR in Azure AD, I told it is a feature of Azure AD that allows user to change or reset their password without admin or help desk involvement. So it mainly provides the organization with so many benefits such as saving the money of the organization, productivity of the organization is increased, and mainly it helps in the scenarios where you are supposed to change your password. Sometimes password change in organizations happens when you are with your old password, say for example, for every 6 months also the administrator will enforce you to change the password. During that time also password change happens, because one password you can't work with one password for the entire lifetime, because that is also dangerous. So some organizations, what they do is they enforce the employee to change the password every 6 months. During that time also, this SSPR capability will give you help, and also a password reset. As I told, sometimes you try to reset your password, then also yes, resetting in the sense changing the password. Resetting in the means you are going to give the new details in terms of password. And unlock account unlock. I told locking of account happens when you will forget the password. And unlock means you are in a dilemma how to open it. Then also SSPR will help you. So authentication methods, app notifications, app codes, and emails. Demos, I will give you the details. I already told the protection password protection and management capabilities and Azure AD. With globally banned password list, custom banned password list, protection against password spray. What is password spray? Do we remember? Recollect. Because this is very important. Password spray is nothing but attacker trying with the weak passwords and trying to access the resources. Hybrid security is nothing but synchronization between Azure AD and the on-premise. Yeah. So I'm hoping that you are very much good with lesson 2. Yes. When it comes to lesson 3. Yes. Now the actual lessons are coming. In the sense, actual lessons in the sense, when you are moving further, you are going into the better details of the points that you are supposed to discuss. Yeah. So when it comes to lesson 3, it mainly explores the access management capabilities of Azure Active Directory. Yes. So here, when it comes to lesson 3, we'll be discussing about the conditional access and its benefits. And also, we'll be discussing about the Azure AD roles. So how many targets are there for this lesson? 2 targets. So we'll be having the 2 targets. Yes. Now, when it comes to conditional access. So what is conditional access is? That is what is the major discussion of our present slide. Conditional access. Condition. I hope you all know what is condition is. See, in our C language, we have the condition concept. You remember, no? If condition in brackets, then do this. While condition, then do this. So we can correlate that condition with this conditional access. How? I will tell you. Yeah. So conditional access helps you to improve security. See, the whole focus is how to improve security. So here in conditional access, we are mainly learning how to improve security. So it provides an extra layer of security before allowing authenticated users to access data or other assets. So you are given with extra layer. So that is what is. Yeah, I'm sorry for my bad writing on the screen, but please manage with me for today. Yeah. So it provides an extra layer of security before allowing authenticated users to access data or other assets. So it is implemented through policies that are created and managed in Azure. Yeah. So, my dear participants, a conditional access policy analyzes signals. Here you can see in the diagram. So what the conditional access policy does it analyzes the signals including user, you can see user, okay, and location, device, okay, and app location, that is in the sense application, and real-time risk. So what conditional access policy is doing is it is analyzing the signals. So first thing you remember from this diagram, it is analyzing the signals, right? And then what the conditional access policy is doing is that it might state that if a user belongs to a certain group, then they are required to provide multi-factor authentication signed to an application. See, you see, allow access, require MFA. So it is suggesting which group of users are allowed access directly. That is what is verify every access attempt. So allow access, if see, for example, the user belongs to manager group, because manager is the higher authority. Require MFA. Say for example, the clerk. See, sorry, manager, let us leave manager, CEO. CEO of the organization has all the access. So for him, allow access, a tick mark. Now require MFA for whom? For a clerk, assistant manager, and manager. Block access for whom? Unauthorized user, attacker. So here, conditional access, what it will do, it will analyze the signals. It will analyze the signals and verify the access attempt for the apps and data. That is what is the simple diagram is. I hope I am clear. That's it. If you understand the diagram, the entire gist in the slide is derived from the diagram. Conditional access. If CEO give access to apps and data, entire access. If clerk require MFA for the apps and data. If attacker block access. That's what I told. You correlate the conditional access concept with the if condition, then set of statements. If condition, check, then set of statements. So that's it. I hope I am clear with this conditional access concept. Now, when it comes to conditional access signals analysis, in the slide shown, user or group membership. Policies can be targeted to all users, specific users. So whatever the policies are there, based on the user, you have to check. And name location information, it is created using IP address range. Name location information. So based on the IP address range. Okay, using the IP address range, you will be giving the access. Device when it comes to users with device or specific platform. So users of device specific platform. Application. Users attempting to access specific applications can trigger different conditional access policies. So I need, say for example, my salary details application access. For them, a set of policies will be given. So you have to set policies based on the application. Real-time sign-in risk detection. So signals integration with the Azure AD identity protection allows conditional access policies to identity risky sign-in behavior. So risky sign-in behavior should be detected in real time. There can be two types of sign-ins, normal sign-in and risky sign-in. So risky sign-in should be caught and should be eradicated for better authentication and better authorization. Cloud apps or actions. So it can include our cloud applications or user actions that will be subject to policy. That means there can be apps or actions that need not be subject to any policy, or there can be some apps or actions that can be subject to policies. So policies should be set by the administrator in terms of accessing them. And user risk. When it comes to user risk, represent the probability that a given identity or account is compromised. That's it. These are all the conditional access signals that are analyzed in conditional access. This diagram showing I have given all the details well in advance. Access controls. So block access. Now when it comes to access control, as I told in the diagram, block access, grant access, require one or more conditions to be met before granting access, and control user access based on session. These are the important points. You have to see whether the particular person is well authenticated or based on role. You have to give for double verification or not authenticated, based on which access will be given. That's it. This is very important topic of the entire discussion, conditional access. This also there is a demo. I will be giving you the details of demo before the end of this session, or else tomorrow, based on the time, because we are at 3:15. To complete this module, I will take, say for example, maybe 20 minutes of time or 30 minutes of time. Let us see, because the concepts are very much required, and then I will move into the demo part. One by one, I will clear all the demos. Yeah. Now, when it comes to Azure AD role-based control, role-based access control. Back. So what is actually Azure AD role-based access control? Azure AD roles control permissions to manage Azure AD resources. That is what is the first line of this sentence, this slide. So when it comes to built-in roles, global administrator used with this role have access to all administrative features in Azure AD. So you have so many built-in roles. Say for example, global administrator is there. So this role is the one which have access to all administrative features in the Azure AD. And this built-in role, that is global administrator, is the person who signs up for Azure AD tenant automatically becomes a global admin. See, one who signs to Azure AD tenant will become the, what we say, the global administrator, right? So when it comes to user administration, I'm just speaking about the built-in roles only. Yeah, the first one I spoke about is global administrator. Then I am giving you the details of user administration. He is the person who can create and manage the aspects of users and groups. And we have another built-in role, that is billing administrator. So the billing administrator purchases, manages subscriptions, and support tickets. So there are three roles. I have given you the three roles in this discussion. One is global administrator, the second one is user administrator, and third one is the billing administrator. So G, I will write simply G for global, and user administrator U, and B is for billing administrator. So all these three built-in roles are there when you sign into Azure AD. And then comes custom roles. So these roles give flexibility when granting access. Yes, so they are all flexible roles in terms of accessing the resources, in terms of getting the device specific features and applications. That is all about the custom roles. And when it comes to Azure AD role-based access control, managing access using roles is known as role-based access control. So that is the important concept. So what is role-based access control? Is nothing but managing the access using roles is nothing but role-based access control. So what are the roles in the organization? Clerk, assistant manager, manager, maybe CEO, chairman. So you see, based on the roles, there will be separate levels of access. Say for example, chairman of the organization. He is the person who established chairman / CEO. They are the people who have established the organization. They have the entire access. They have the entire visibility. So based on the role you are giving access, they can see what salary was given to all the employees in that particular month. And they can see how much of investment was done in terms of power consumption. So everything. How many new employees got recruited. So these levels of access will not be there with normal clerk or assistant manager or manager. So that's what is Azure AD role-based access control. So different layers of access is given based on the rules, and only grant the access users need. Is nothing but main objective is to grant users the least privilege to get their work done. Very, very important concept. Only grant the access users need. So you give the least. I will write least here because the keyword is least. Sorry once again for my bad writing because I'm using the pen. This is not allowing me to give my best writing on the screen. I hope I am understandable in terms of writing also. Yeah. So only grant the access users need. So what it says is you give the least privilege to get the work done. So clerk should be given the least privilege. Whatever he is supposed to do, say for example, he is the person who is associated with seeing the withdrawals and deposits of the particular bank. You give that access only. Don't go for higher levels. So based on the role, you limit the access. That's it. That boundary should not be crossed. So this is all about Azure AD role-based access control. We have come to lesson 4. So that is what is SC900. Yeah. See, again, I will just give you the details what we have discussed till now in terms of lesson 3. The major concept of lesson 3 is conditional access and its values. Hope you remember this excellent concept of the day, conditional access. Nothing but analyzing the signals, giving the access to the apps and data based on the signal we have received, right? So if condition, then give the access based on the condition check. And okay, demos, we are moving to that only. Once we complete lesson 4 also, we'll jump into demos. Yes. Now when it comes to Azure AD role-based access control, I've given you the details of built-in roles. What is G? Global administrator. What is U? User administration. What is B? Billing administrator. And custom roles, I have discussed that these roles give the flexibility when granting access. And I have discussed about Azure AD role-based access control. Based on the role, give access. And only grant the access users need is nothing but least control, least access based on the role. That's it. Now we are coming into the lesson 4, interesting lesson, that is describe the identity protection and governance capabilities of Azure AD, Azure Active Directory. As we have for every lesson, our targets for this lesson, the targets are describe the identity governance capabilities of Azure AD, describe the benefits of privileged identity management, and describe the capabilities of Azure AD identity protection. Yes, so identity governance in Azure AD. You can see a good diagram here. This is the diagram you see. Yeah, so the main concept of this identity governance. Yeah, the main concept of this identity governance is it is intended to help organization address the 4 key questions. Remember, my dear participants, 4 key questions. Which user should have access to which resources? So which users should have access to which resources? And what are those users doing with that access? That's it. That is in fact or not. I am given access of resource. So what I am doing with that resource? Am I utilizing in a proper way or not? Are there effective organizational controls for managing access? That is the third point. And fourth point is, can auditors verify in their auditions that the controls are working or not? So these are the 4 important points, or 4 key questions that are addressed in identity governance. Which users should have access to which resources? And what are those users doing with those access? And are there any effective organizational controls for managing access? And lastly, can auditors verify that the controls are working? That is all about identity governance list. Now, the task of Azure AD identity governance is govern the identity lifecycle, govern access lifecycle, secure privileged access for administration. So when it comes to managing the user's identity lifecycle is the heart of the governance. So identity lifecycle, as I told, identity is the new perimeter of the organization. In the previous slides, I told what is identity is. Identity is nothing but username and password. Your username, your password is the identity for your organization. So you have to govern it, the site life cycle. Okay, so that life cycle should be governed well, and it is the heart. Okay, and govern access life cycle. So access life cycle in the sense, once you have identity, you have access to resources. So that life cycle also should be managed. Life cycle in the sense, for every human, there is a life cycle. We start with our childhood, we jump into the study environment, we jump into the actual life working environment, we retire and we just have the normal retired life. So what cycles are there in our life in terms of education? We have the normal childhood role and going to the college, school, from school to college, college to working environment to retired life. So this is the life cycle. So access life cycle is also the same. Every user will have his own access life cycle. Say for example, is in role 1. He will have one access life cycle, access 1. Say for example, he jumps from role 1 to role 2. So his life cycle will change. He will have more additional access. So that should be governed by the administrator. And secured privileged access for administration. So privileged access should be given for administration. In the sense, there should be control in terms of accessing for the administration as well. Now, when it comes to the diagram, as mentioned in my example, the school role, college role, and then what we say, our working environment, and then retiring. The same thing, sorry for this. The same thing is shown here. Yeah, no access, starting from no access to job role, join, move from one role to another, and retire in terms of identity. So you see, before you join, before you join the organization, there is no access. And once you come, you like into the organization, you are given with job role, and you are given the access, and you move to the second job role. Say for example, you are getting a promotion, and based on the promotion, you are getting the new access, and lastly, you leave the organization, retire. So there again, you go to the no access. That means the phases change. This is what is identity governance in Azure AD. So on a whole, what I want to tell you is this: there is a life cycle for identity as well as access. And based on the roles, it will change. So here you can see, join a new digital identity is created. Move, update access authorizations. And leave is nothing but access may need to be removed. So that is what is identity governance. I hope I am clear. Yeah. Now when it comes to entitled management and access rates. Yeah. What is entitled management? Here, entitled management is an identity governance feature that enables organizations to manage identity and life cycle at scale, if you can see. So it's an identity governance feature. It's a connected concept. So previously we have seen identity governance in the previous slide. There where we have the life cycle for access as well as identity and administration relevant to that. So here we can see that entity management is also an identity governance feature that enables the organizations to manage identity and access lifecycle at scale. It automates access request workflows. You can see access assignments. Automation in the sense it's not done manually. It is done automatically. Reviews and expiration. Right? So that is what is entitled management. These are the challenges that are addressed by the entitled management. That is, users may not know what access they should have, and even if they do, they might have difficulty locating the right individual to approve it. So you have the challenge. See, you join an organization and you don't know at the beginning of your joining stage that what access I have. Is it or not? Newly joined employees face this problem. And even though I know how to access, it will be very difficult to access the right resource at right location. So these challenges are addressed by the entitled management. And when the user finds an access and receive access to a resource, they may hold on to access longer than is required for business purpose. That's the second problem. See, firstly, as a new joinee or after some time also, I don't know what to access. Even though I know what to access, I don't know how to access. See, regarding entitled management, I don't know what to access. Right? And then, even though I know what to access, I don't know how to access. Even though I know how to access, I don't know the time for which I will be accessing that resource for the business purposes. So these issues are dealt by the entitled management concept. Okay, so I hope I am clear with the entitled management concept, right? So these are all the very important concepts in our discussion stage. Yeah. Now, when it comes to access reviews, they are very helpful. See, these access reviews very helpful when you have too many users in privileged roles, such as global entity, right? And when automation isn't possible. And lastly, you want to control business critical data access. So these are the three important concepts. So when it comes to access reviews, it mainly enables to efficiently manage group memberships and access to enterprise applications and role assignment. And it mainly ensures the right people have access to the resources. Right people in the sense authorized access. Authorized people having authorized access and used to review and manage access for both users and guests. Terms of use. So when it comes to terms of use, there will be terms of use for every particular resource in the organization. So that information should be presented to users before they access data or application. Very, very important. See, I should know what the terms of using of that particular content. Then only I will do it in a proper manner. And the last important point is ensure users read relevant disclaimers for legal or compliance requirements. So compliance in the sense meeting the particular rules of that particular access, right? So these are the terms of use in terms of entitled management concepts and access reviews, right? Here, if you see in the particular diagram, here we are given with the review users access to finance web app in frequency of net. Here there is a data given to the user to read. Based on that, the data given in this particular paragraph, the user will be accessing the resources. Now, when it comes to privileged identity management, so PIM, Very important concept. As we have discussed conditional access in the previous slide, here in this lesson 4, conditional access was discussed in lesson 3. For lesson 4, privileged identity management is very important. It is mainly used to manage, control, and monitor access to important resources in your organization. MCM, manage, control, and monitor. That is what is very important. Privileged identity management. If you understand privileged identity management in a clear manner, it is a service in Azure AD which mainly enables you to manage, control, and monitor access to important resources in the organization. And it includes resources in Azure AD, Azure, Microsoft Online Services such as Microsoft 365 or Microsoft Intune. And the main advantage of PAM is it reduces the chance of a malicious actor getting access by minimizing the number of people who have access to secure information or resources. So it reduces the attackers' attacks, right? So here if you see, just in time, providing privileged access only when needed, not before. So what is just in time? So here, how much time you are supposed to access the resource? That much time only you are given access. Beyond that, you are not given access. That is also related to privileged access. Time bound by assigning start and end dates. So you are given the starting date of access of resource and end date. Between these dates only you have to access the resource. Beyond that, you are not given the access. And indicate when a user can access resource. During that dates also, in which time or which slot the user can access the resource. Approval based, requiring specific approval to activate privileges. So you are supposed to get approval, and then you are supposed to get the activation of the privileges. So approval is very much needed by the administrator. Visible sending notifications when privileged roles are activated. You are supposed to get the notifications when you are activated with the particular roles access. And lastly, you are auditable. Fully access history to be downloaded. So whatever you have done with your resources and devices, there is a history associated with it, and you are tracked based on that. So that is what is the role of privileged identity management. So I hope I am clear with this PIM concept. Unable manages, control, and monitors the access to important resources in our organization. What is important resource in your organization? You can reply back in chat. I told several times. Yes, now I want chat replies, my dear participants. What are the important resources in your organization? Please reply with your knowledge gained throughout our discussion. Yeah, data. I will write once again. Data is very important resource in your organization. And app, that is application. So that is also very important resource in our organization. Okay, so similarly your infrastructure, I will write INF. So infrastructure, right? I will write R also, infra. Yeah, so these are all very much needed to be managed, controlled, and monitored, and that is done by PIM. I hope I am clear. Yeah. So Azure Identity Protection. When it comes to Azure Identity Protection, my dear participants, I want to tell you one fact. Microsoft analyzes 6.5 trillion. 6.5 trillion signals per day to identify potential threats. So it is analyzing 6.5 trillion signals. I will write this, trillion. So Microsoft analyzes 6.5 trillion signals. This is very much needed information for you all. Okay. So Microsoft analyzes 6.5 trillion signals per day to identify the potential threats. So that much work is done to know about the threats. And behind that, the Azure identity protection works. So what happens in this is it enables the organization to accomplish 3 key tasks. So one is the automate the detection and redemption of identity-based risks. Second is investigate risks using data in the portal. And third one is export risk detection data to third-party utilities for further analysis. So the three key tasks are you automate the detection and remediation of the identity-based risks. Okay, so identity-based risks are more dangerous. So that detection and remediation both should be automated. And the second important thing is investigate risk during using data in the portal. See, data is the gold for the organization. So there are risks in accessing and using the data in the portal. So those all should be traced out. And third one is export risk detection data to third-party utilities for further analysis. Okay, so you have to do further analysis of all the risks that are obtained from the risk detection and see that these things not happen in terms of production here. And it can categorize and calculate risk. See, risks can be 3 types: low, medium, and high. So what this Azure Identity Protection will do is it will categorize the risk. If they are low, okay, they can be somehow dealt with some minimum care. Medium means some medium level of care should be taken. High risks or high priority risks, they should be traced out and they should not be supposed to happen. Calculate the sign-in risk and user identity at risk. So you have to calculate the risk value in terms of sign-in as well as identity. And lastly, provide organization with 3 reports. This is very important. See, you have done everything. You have analyzed the risk, you have calculated the risk value. Lastly, you have to support the risk reports also. That is risky users, risky sign-ins, and risky detections. So that is all about Azure Identity Protection. So the module summary. Yes, my dear participants, we have completed module 2 also. Previously, we have completed module 1 and now we have completed module 2. Our goal of the day, in the sense, this session is done with. Only we are pending with demo. Yeah. So you have learned about Azure AD and services. You have learned about identity types Azure AD supports. You have explored the authentication capabilities of Azure AD, including MFA, very important concept. And as I mentioned, you have explored the access management capabilities of Azure AD with conditional access and Azure AD rollback. Very important. And describe identity protection and governance capabilities of Azure AD, including PM. Very important concept. Entitlement management, very important concept. And access reviews. These are very, very important. And learn about the capabilities of Azure AD identity protection. So altogether, we have completed our goal of the day, module 1 and module 2. Yeah. So now, after this is done, sorry, we'll keep this slide because we are at 3:44. We have 15 more minutes in our discussion. Now I will go to the demo part. Yes. Yeah, once again, I will ask you the status. Are you all done with Microsoft official curriculum redemption guide utilization? In the sense, did you all redeem your voucher? Please respond with yes or no, my dear participants, because the golden opportunity never comes. The golden opportunity knocks the door only once. Please follow this guideline, it will be shared to you in your chart, and you are supposed to do with the process. Yeah, Meenu, can you please share the second survey link with the participants regarding Azure?
Yes,
Because I'm
sure. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm starting the demo part. I want to know like how many of they are aware with the Azure portal. I want to see the live results. Please give your reply. I will check how many of you are aware with security concepts I have seen. Yeah. Now I want to check with your Azure ID capabilities. Yeah, your link will be shared, and please reply with the link given to you. Now let us go to the demonstration part. Yeah, so yes, I want to speak about this environment also. This is the Azure AD portal, and I have to access this. You have to log in with admin credentials. The what we say, the URL with this is portal.azure.com. My dear participants, portal.azure.com. Already I have registered with the admin credentials. So please log into this if you have the credentials, or else after this demo is done, you can go with your trials in the evening session also. In the sense, you have the time slot today. Tomorrow, once we join, you be available with these credentials. Yes. Now, you can see all the users. See, here if you see, I am in the Azure AD. Already I am there in the Azure AD, Azure Active Directory. And you to enter into Azure Active Directory, you type Azure Active Directory in the search box. You will get into Azure Active Directory directly. There is a all users option. If you see, I can check if I am maintaining an organization, I can check how many users are there. There are 45 users in my organization. For every user, you see the name, the mail, user principal name, user type, directory synced, account enabled, identity issuer, company name, creation type. All these data will be associated. Right? You can create a new user. I'm just showing you, this is the demonstration part, how to create a new user. Yeah. See, once you join in an organization, this is how a new user is created. There are two options, create user option, invite user option. So what is the difference between create user option and invite user option? When you are going for creation of the user, you are enrolling the user into your organization. Say, for example, you joined XYZ organization tomorrow. That is Alien Soul. So you are given with username and password credentials. So what will happen? That admin will create the user for you. So that is what I am showing to you as an admin. See, you have two capabilities to log in with the Azure portal. One is the admin capability, the other one is the user capability. Now I am logged in with the admin credentials, right? And invite user is the second option where I am inviting a set of users from the other organization in a bulk, and they are working with me. So say for example, I want to invite 30 users. I will use this option. For the time being, I will not show the demonstration. I will show you only the create user option. I hope you understood invite user also. Okay. Now I will just create username. Say for example, I will give some random names. RAM, TY. I am giving some random names. Don't bother about that. Right? And some RAM, SI. Okay, these are all like randomly I'm giving. RAM, EST, something I'm giving. Okay, here you have auto-generated password, and let me create the password option is there. Okay, so if you are going for auto-generated password, the password will be generated automatically. If you go for let me create password option, for the timing, I will give let me create password. See, as a security trainer, I should not show you the password, but okay, because it is discussion. Anyhow, that is in the dot format. Okay, some password I have given. So you are getting the thing. I am creating the username and I am associating with a password that can be auto-generated as well as the password is in your hand in the terms of admin hand to create. Okay, and here if you see groups and roles, to which group it belongs. Say for example 0 groups are there. I click this, right? Okay, here if you see so many groups have come. Let us you'll check with operations group. There is a group called to be operations. So what I am doing, I am associating that particular user with the operation group. I will just select. See, you see here one group selected. So the user is selected with the particular group. Now roles. You have different roles, directory roles. For the timing, I will not associate the user with any role, but you can check. There are various roles. These are all the roles. Okay. For the timing, I will just ignore it. Okay. I am not gone for any roles. And block sign-in. Settings though, if you go for the settings, there is block sign-in option. My dear participants, will you block or you will not block? Please reply with chat. What you will do? If you block, the user will not get any access. So you have to go for the default option, that is no. If you say yes, you are blocking. That means he is retired. You have seen in the access life cycle, no? Retiring. So he is blocked, yes. Now he is working, no? So you have to give no. Usage location, let us give US for the time being. Or let us give our country, India. So what is the use of giving this location? Based on the location you give, the user, the behavior will be decided. Because Indian users are working from 9 to 5. In the sense, their timings are, their time zones are different. US users, their time zones are different. So that is the reason why you are giving the usage location. Here also they work from 9 to 5, but for them 9 to 5 is different in their time zone, for us it is different. So for that reason only you have to give the location. And job information, these are all default values. For the time I am not giving, I am just creating. You see, I have created, added user to group successfully. Which user? Some Ramsey I have created. Now to check with whether the user is there or not, you have to refresh it. I'm just refreshing it. Now you will see the new user created in the list. Yeah. Let us check with search option. Yeah, you see Ramsey is there. Just now I have created. Are you getting my point? So that is what is the way to create a new user. Now you can see deleted users also. Right? Now, if you see, say for example, I want to delete one user, AB Raj. Okay, this was also created by me some 15 days back. Okay, now delete user option is there, I will delete. Okay, so I'm just deleting. These are all the ways to manage the identities. So that is what I am teaching you. You see, user deleted successfully. AB Raj has been deleted. So you see in the deleted users, that name will be reflected. We have to refresh it. You see, I have deleted the user AB Raj. It is now visible in the deleted users list. Now there is an option to restore also. Say for example, within the 13 days, and you can restore the particular user. See, you have an option restore. So restore user. I click the restore user. Restore selected user. Okay. So what will happen? In the all users list, Abiraj will be again visible. This is how you can manage. Just let me refresh. Let me refresh once again. Because sometimes what happens is the restoring operation takes time. Yeah, now Abiraj is visible. So what I have taught you, I have told you how to create a new user. There I told you what is the difference between a normal user and the guest user. I have given you all the details how to create a new user, and I have gone for deleted user option. A deleted user and restored also. For restoring, there is a condition. Within 30 days only, within 30 days, 130 days only you can restore. After 30 days, you cannot restore a user. Now, let us go to, yeah, home. Yeah. Let us go to groups. Yeah. In terms of groups, you can create a new group. So group, what is a group? Group is nothing but set of people. HR people, say for example, marketing people, or in organization there are separate groups. Say for example, I belong to security group, right? In our organization. So in this way, there are various groups. Group in the sense set of people working together for a particular objective, right? So we can create groups also in our organization. Here in Microsoft Azure, we have two groups, security and Microsoft 365. When it comes to security, this group is mainly concerned with the security aspects of the particular user. And when it comes to Microsoft 365, it is mainly related to collaboration aspects of the users. So for the time being, let us create security group. You give some group name, random group name, some XYZ ABC. I'm giving some random names. Don't be bothered about that. Group discussion. Sorry, group description. Let us say KLM, and let us say randomly I'm taking, let us say HR. Okay, Azure AD roles can be assigned to the group. Yes or no? Let it be default for the time being. Assign type, let it be dynamic user. I will, yeah, as we are approaching to 450, sorry, 358. 2 minutes are left over. I will just, for the time being, select one of the user. I will tell you about dynamic user and dynamic device in the next class. And owners, I'm not selecting any owner as on date. And yes, yeah. For the time being, I will select yes. And owners and members roles, I am just leaving as this. And let us see how can we create a group. Yes. So you can see a group is created. So I have created a new group. Let us search. Let us first refresh. Refresh. Yeah, you can see 47 groups are there. I have named it as XYZ. Yeah, ABC. This is the group I have created just. So what I wanted to tell you in this demonstration is the basic usage of Microsoft Azure AD. So that's what is our first demonstration, Azure Active Directory demonstration. So in this demo, I have given you the details how to create a new user, how to give the credentials of the user in terms of username and password. So what we can do, so I have created Ramsey named user with one password I have given. So next time what I can do is I can simply sign out from this administrator capabilities and re-log in as a user with the new user details, username and password. That is what we can do once we register the user. Once I delete the user, you cannot log in. So that is what I have shown to you in this particular demonstration. And also I have given you the details how to create a group. Yeah, my dear participants. So for today, the time is over. We are done with 4 o'clock. So tomorrow I will give you those